On today's episode,
The same concept. They have a side without the fastener, and then they have the side where the bolts go in. Okay, so these are the door handles.
all right, hey, so we're going to be installing some shower doors today. These are 3/8 frameless glass, and it creates a real nice seamless look. It's a really good way to go. So you don't have the track and the header to go around it. It's just solid glass panels. So the first thing we had to do was measure this. So you got to make sure your walls are nice and flat. That makes it a lot easier because you don't have any track to hide it on. And we've been floating our walls, so if you come over here and you can see, if I put my level on here, you can see we have a nice plumb flat wall, and that makes it real easy when you go to order the glass. So basically what we're going to have is we're going to have a solid panel that's just held in with 4 clips. Then we're going to have a door on this side which will open both ways, and that's got 2 hinges, and that's all the hardware. And we order the hardware to match the plumbing finishes. So we have polished nickel. So like these are the clips that hold the panel. And I got my lines up. I drew plumb lines and straight lines so that I make sure everything is in the same plane. So I just took a measurement of 1.5 inches off of the edge of the curb. That's going to allow us enough meat to grab into on the tile. But I like to have the doors and the panels as far towards the outside of the shower as I can get them. That way you have a little more room in the shower. Really nice shower. We use 3x12 ceramic tile. It's a studio look, kind of handmade. This is a tile from Spain, ceramic. We used a dark grout to really kind of accent the tiles themselves. Polished nickel finishes, and got a hand shower. We got a diverter, and we got a shower head, which we're still waiting on, but that's coming in. We got a low profile curb with a single slope shower pan. We have Schluter's tileable grate here, and so these guys are pretty slick. Let's see if I can get this guy up. So that's the actual drain, and so we do a mortar bed. I don't like to use foam on the floor. So this is all floated, nice seamless look, low profile curb it goes down to, and we only have about 3/8 of an inch there, and obviously it grows as the slope goes down. That's enough about the tiles. And it's also really good when you build your showers, if you're doing frameless glass, make sure you're level across your curb. We're right in the middle with that. So makes everything a lot easier to measure. These are Cyclone. These are for going into porcelain. Here on the curb, when I'm drilling for the curb, I don't want to puncture all the way through my waterproofing. I'm basically just going to go through the tile, and then I'm going to cut my screw so I don't puncture all the way through, but it's still going to hold that panel from going in or out. And we have Curdy waterproofing, so it's right underneath the tile, so I'm going to be careful. So I'm already through there. So that's as far as I want to go. You can feel it when it goes through, it pops. So I'm just through the tile, I'm not through any waterproofing there. So that's into porcelain, so these bits work really good. And they're hot. And when I touched it the first time, I actually burnt my finger a little bit. But my fingertips are pretty calloused anyway, so but I can feel it. Okay. All right, so we vacuum this up nice. I'm going to pull my tape up. Like I said, I don't want to puncture through. They give you these 2-inch stainless steel screws. And if I were to sink this all the way down, I'd be going right through my waterproofing. So again, I'm going to cut these to about 3/8 of an inch so that they don't. I'm just going to use my dikes. Boom. And cut my screws down. go.
And then I got to cut my anchors down a little bit too. They're a lot easier to cut than stainless steel screws. So, the hardware, it's got two sides. It's got the attachment screw side and it's got the flat finish side. So there's two sides to these clips and they go together. I always put the finish side on the outside. One of my viewers comment on my Milwaukee impact bits. This is my Phillips bit. Let me know, leave it in the comments below. What's your favorite impact drill bit? Yeah, I've noticed the Milwaukees, they get kind of worn down. And actually I hit my thumb yesterday pretty bad because it slipped out and jammed right into my thumb right there. And it's kind of sore. But if you got a good bit, hey, let's share some information and let me know what your favorite bit is. So yeah, those are actually in there pretty tight. If you're getting a pop on your impact like that, that means you're in there pretty good. So we got that. You'll notice when I drilled all the way through this, all the way through drywall. I don't have solid backing under this, which probably would have been a good idea. But since it's the panel, and again, it's not going to have any forward on the door side, I definitely want solid backing because that door is going to be hanging and those two hinges, all the support coming from the hinge side, that's where the load is resting. This side, there's not going to be any load on it. Put the glass in for the panel. I use these glass shims, these little rubber guys, and they cushion, so you put these down and when you set the glass on, because you want to set them on something soft, if you set them right on the curb, you're prone to chip. Just make sure I'm going to rest on those shims. Okay. Am I all the way against the glass? No. There we go. Slip this. With the hardware, they give you these little spacers. This is just a stainless steel with an Allen key. You definitely need two people when you're doing this. Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll just get these snug for now. Okay, there you go. Trusty Stabila level here to find out what's going on with this panel. Again, you saw we just snugged everything. So go ahead and hop over here, Johnny. And you can see we're out of plumb. So I'm basically going to have to lift up the bottom here and push the top corner. The thing about if you do tile work, you can really take that into the other trades as well. Plumb, level, square. So come check out the door now. If you understand how to make things plumb. So I lifted up the bottom and pushed in the top, and now we're right where we need. Okay, so these are the door handles. They have a little set screw. This is how they come in the package. Put the door in. It's just another place that we can grab. That's the way that goes. This side. And then this just screws on. Metal washer, and then we'll screw it in. Don't use your impact for this part, you don't need to. You got those rubber washers, so you're just getting a good snug in here. Seeing it from the top. That part just goes on there. Get that screw started. Alright, so glasses. Okay, so the door hinges are a little bit different than the clips, but they have kind of the same concept. They have a side without the fastener, and then they have the side where the bolts go in. Of course, again, we want the side with the bolts. So to find out where these are going to get screwed into, it's really important. So after I get my panel in, I take the top of it, not the bottom, because the bottom of the door actually has a sweep, which I'll show you in a second. And if you try to put that up there, you can't gauge it. So I go off of the top. So I measured off the top, took a level from here, and made a mark right here. So that's my top. And then to get my measurements of the hinges, I took my tape measure and measured from here and got my hinge location. To clean them out real good. There you go. Okay, I'm on. Are you? These kind of act the same way. Here is, it's like doing it in a mirror.
Oh yeah.
Here's the outer hinge. We got the door. Wish I could show you guys this, but we got the door in line on both hinges. So each side gets a rubber gasket, 2 Allen screws. And again, our first go around, we're just going to get this snug. Because we're going to have to adjust these doors to get them plumb and level, just like we did the other ones. Push in a little more. There you go.
It's much better.
Back up. Yeah. Back up just a little bit. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Yeah. Right there. Close it. Yeah, that's the way they're supposed to fit. Okay, so we got our door on here. It's looking good. Everything's plumb. But we have a little bit too big of a gap here. I'm looking for about 3/16 right here. And it looks like we have more like 1/4 inch, maybe even 3/8. So we're going to adjust these doors to the door to bring it this way. And if we have to, we'll adjust the panel and bring it in. Okay, so we got you can see we got our gap closed here real nice. So the door opens both ways. Right there. It's all plumb and level. And no tracks or anything to deal with. It's just really good shape, really good solid door. So last thing we need to do is just silicone right here and we're all good. All right, Johnny. Okay, so last thing we do is silicone in the panel. We don't need to do the door. So I'm just using 100% silicone. Fill in the gap real nice. I use denatured alcohol to give it a good joint. You guys do this too?
Yeah.
Alcohol?
Yeah.
This is the finished product. It's a really nice glass door. So again, thanks for checking out my videos. And be sure to watch the next video coming up. It'll be just like this one. You'll get a lot of info out of it. I think you'll enjoy it. Click like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.